I thought I had seen it all. After traveling across Asia, from the neon streets of Tokyo to the ancient temples of Cambodia, from the skyscrapers of Singapore to the beaches of Thailand, I thought I knew what to expect. But then I landed in the Philippines, and nothing prepared me for what I discovered. They say travel changes you, but sometimes one place changes everything. By the end of this story, you'll understand why the Philippines shocked me more than anywhere else in Asia. The first shock hit me the moment I arrived in Manila. I expected chaos, traffic, and noise. And yes, all of that was there. Jeepneys painted in wild colors, motorbikes weaving through cars, the constant hum of a city that never stops. But underneath the chaos was something else: warmth. People smiled at me as if I were an old friend. Strangers helped me with directions without hesitation. A street vendor selling skewers insisted I try one for free, just to welcome me. I had traveled through so many countries where tourists felt invisible or even unwelcome. But in the Philippines, I felt embraced from the start. Then came the food. Across Asia, I had eaten everything from sushi in Japan to pho in Vietnam. But the flavors in the Philippines surprised me. Adobo, with its mix of vinegar, soy sauce, and garlic, was comforting and addictive. Sinigang, a sour tamarind soup, was unlike anything I had tasted before, tangy and refreshing. And lechon, roasted pig with skin so crispy it shattered with each bite, felt like a celebration on a plate. But the shock wasn't just the taste. It was the way food brought people together. Meals weren't quick or quiet. They were loud, joyful, and filled with laughter. Food wasn't just fuel. It was family. When I left the city and started exploring the islands, the shock grew even bigger. I had seen beautiful beaches in Thailand and Indonesia, but nothing compared to Palawan. In El Nido, I sailed through lagoons hidden between towering limestone cliffs. The water was so clear, I could see fish swimming around my feet. In Coron, I dove into shipwrecks from World War II, each one telling a silent story of the past. And every sunset painted the sky in shades of orange and purple, so vivid they felt unreal. I thought I knew what paradise looked like, but the Philippines redefined it. Boracay was different again. Known for its nightlife and famous white beach, I expected just another tourist hotspot. But walking barefoot on sand so soft it felt like powder, with fire dancers lighting up the night and music filling the air, I realized it was more than a beach. It was an energy, alive and contagious. Even in a crowd of strangers, I felt like I belonged. Cebu shocked me in another way. One day, I was in the heart of a bustling city surrounded by malls and skyscrapers, and the next, I was swimming with whale sharks in Oslo. Imagine being face to face with a creature bigger than a bus, yet gentle enough to swim peacefully beside you. It was humbling, almost spiritual. And then there was Kawasan Falls, with turquoise water cascading down into emerald pools where families gathered. Children laughed, and locals invited me to join in their fun. But the real shock wasn't just the landscapes, it was the people. In Bohol, while visiting the Chocolate Hills, I met families who told me stories of living through typhoons and rebuilding their homes with nothing but determination. In small villages, I was invited into homes by people who barely knew me, yet offered me food and treated me like family. In Siargao, the surfing capital of the Philippines, young kids showed me how to balance on a board, laughing every time I fell, cheering the moment I managed to ride even the smallest wave. There's a word in the Philippines, bayanihan, which means community spirit, people coming together to help one another. I didn't just hear the word, I saw it everywhere. When someone needed help, neighbors showed up. When a storm hit, communities rebuilt together. It shocked me because in so many places around the world, life feels individualistic, but in the Philippines, life feels shared. Even in the face of hardship, the spirit of Filipinos shocked me. Typhoons hit regularly, destroying homes and taking lives, yet people smiled, laughed, and carried on. I asked one local how they managed to stay positive, and he simply said, "We don't give up. We just keep going." That resilience, that unshakable hope, was more powerful than any landmark or view I had seen. And then there was the music. In other countries, I saw people sing in bars or on stages, but in the Philippines, everyone seemed to sing, in the streets, in their homes, at every gathering. Karaoke wasn't just entertainment, it was part of life. I was shocked to hear voices so good they could rival international stars, coming from ordinary people who sang just for the joy of it. Music was everywhere, and it made the country feel alive. The more I traveled, the more I realized that the Philippines isn't just one culture. It's thousands of islands, each with its own traditions, festivals, and identity, yet bound together by a shared sense of pride. I witnessed Sinulog and Cebu, with its colorful costumes and street dances that filled the air with energy and devotion. I saw fiestas in small towns where entire communities celebrated together, turning even the simplest day into a festival of joy. What shocked me most, though, was how invisible the Philippines often is on the world stage. Travelers talk about Bali, Bangkok, or Tokyo, but rarely mention Manila, Cebu, or Davao. Yet the Philippines has everything: history, food, nature, culture, and some of the kindest people in the world. It shocked me that more people weren't talking about it, that it was still a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. As I reached the end of my journey, I thought back to all the places I had visited across Asia. Each one had been beautiful, each one had taught me something. But the Philippines was different. It wasn't just beautiful. It wasn't just exciting. It was human. It was a place that connected not just to my eyes, but to my heart. So yes, I traveled Asia, but the Philippines shocked me. It shocked me with its beauty, its culture, its resilience, and most of all, its people. And now, whenever someone asks me about the best place I've ever visited, I smile, because I know the answer will always surprise them: the Philippines.